Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Thought Train. Let's just jump into it. It's a red Monday. It's a bit of a harsh one. Yeah, a little bit what we expected, and a little bit harsher, I think, maybe. Most of you who have been following the charts in the Bitcoin price already knew that we had reached a death cross. And this just indicates that it's a chart indicator that just shows that we have crossed the point where the EMA and the bull market support band meets. And this usually indicates a downturn in the market. It could show that we are going into a bear market, which shows the market has started to cool down. Now, uh, I'm not a big chart guy, and sometimes it is a little bit smoke and mirrors. So, what I like to do is I just see this as a reflection of the truth and not a prediction of the future. So, what does this tell us? We already know that we were doing quite well for a while there. We were consolidating, moving on the side there. And then things started to change a little bit here on the side, where things started to cool down quite a bit. And obviously, if you have a downturn like this, it's just and you're working on a 21-week moving average, at some point your average will change, and this is just what happened here. So where does this leave us? Three possible scenarios that can play out going forward. Like I said, I'm not a big chart guy, but I do think we can take some information from the chart and mix it in with some market sentiment and research, and see where this is going. I also do a lot of research about what other traders are thinking, what the market is thinking, and I think there's three possible scenarios. So the first scenario for Bitcoin, I think, is that a lot of people have been clutching to this idea of a V recovery. Now, there is, I think, if you look at it realistically, there is some basis for this, and this is coming mostly from the stock to flow people, which basically says that, well, we just a little bit in the doldrums here, especially in the northern hemisphere. It's vacation season. It's nice weather out. People are spending more money. Less retail traders are spending their money on cryptocurrencies, and then also we know that the Chinese crackdown started. It's been going from there till there. To be fair, I do think. You can see that this didn't just happen overnight. The Chinese government actually gave these guys a decent amount of warning, I believe, because um, they didn't just kick in the door. So people knew that these crackdowns were coming way before it happened. And then just in the last 24 hours, it has escalated a little bit more, I think, because time has run out. But yeah, as you can see, the period has been there for quite a while now. And this was also to be expected. So that was the second thing to be expected. Uh, so the death crossed, the Chinese crackdown, and of course, uh, China plays a big role in the hash rate. So we have a diminishing hash rate. Now, what does that mean as well? A hash rate is just a reflection of the speed at which we can process Bitcoin transactions. So a hash is just the amount of hash that happened within a second, mega hashes within a second. So the less miners you have, the slower the hash rate. And that's all it means, and which is also not that great for Bitcoin. But we will pivot from here. Uh, it creates a new opportunity for new miners to come up, and I'm pretty sure this is just a momentarily impact on the Bitcoin price. But we need to take that into consideration when looking at stock to flow. We need to look at the current price and where we can go from here, and especially if we want to look at a V recovery. How quickly can we recover from this? Because this is all gas on the fire for FUD media, FUD news, that that's quite bearish on Bitcoin. So from here, what could happen is we would need to have like a type of like a V recovery. Oh no, that's a bit too hectic. Let's say, let's say, I would say a V recovery for December. Yeah, you would have to have something. Let's say maybe from yeah, it would have to probably have to happen from here, something like that. Now, obviously, you will have your flows going through here, but the fact is that if this is plausible, and I know a lot of people were championing uh, um, December 300k price prediction, but I think if you look at this, this is quite a steep rise, and even though we might not reach 300k, 288k, 100k, I think what could happen, what could be possible, is that if we start seeing a recovery for the Bitcoin price, a steep recovery at around if we start seeing some recovery in this area, yeah, that could be the basis for a V-shaped recovery. The other option is that a lot of people have started talking about lengthening cycle. Now, where does this leave us? This means that we would eventually get to 100, maybe 150k, but not by December. This would probably lead us to 2020, 22, sorry, 2023, maybe even. Yeah. Well, I think there would be a lot of information to work with before we get to that period. But as you can see, this is just, I want to show it's quite a long period. So people that are in it for the short term, this is gonna be a roller coaster ride, I think, a little bit, until we start seeing some recovery. And the recovery will be around 2022, and then I think we should start seeing a bit of more of a bull market going into 2023 again. This is option number 2, and this is where I think going from here upwards, we would see a very strong recovery to maybe a plausible 300k going forward, but not before. But that's option number 2. Option number 3. Option number 3 is that, yeah, basically Bitcoin goes tits up. And what does this mean? Well, I don't think Bitcoin would have a massive downfall based on Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies on its own, or anything revolving around the crypto sphere. What would have the biggest impact on crypto, in my opinion, would be that the close correlation between Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies and the stock market. If the stock market would implode, like well-known trader Michael Burry, which you probably know from the shitty movie The Big Short. A lot of people like quoting that movie. It was kind of boring, but yeah, he's a well-known iconoclast trader, bit of a weird guy, really clever dude, and he has come out with some cryptic tweets in the last couple of weeks, where he's not, well, I don't know if you would interpret it as all out saying, yeah, everything is going to go the way of the dinosaur, but basically he's saying that all assets are going to burst and are overvalued by a magnitude of 2. So and yeah, cryptocurrencies are a byproduct of that implosion, I think. Not necessarily that it would fail on its own. And if you look at at the past, at how closely correlated Bitcoin is, especially with the last recession that we went through, the close correlation that Bitcoin had with even the S&P 500, it's undeniable. And that's the only thing that I can think. If we start seeing a massive downturn in the stock market, yeah, Bitcoin would probably go tits up as well. And that's it, guys. That's my 3 predictions for the future. 2 of them are quite positive. 1 not so much. But I think this is not something that's just going to happen overnight. Like at one point also, Michael Burry is a little bit, is like Noah on the ark, just warning about a flood coming, you know. And when is that flood coming? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows, but there are warning signs for most of these things. We would be able to see before the time. Are we going to have a V-shaped recovery? Like I said, we will probably see some type of indicator in the month of August. We would see some type of indicator showing that, okay, guys, we are not going to hit 100K in December. Something else is going to change. We have a lengthening cycle, and then also if things start happening in the stock market, you know, you could put 1 and 1 together and see, well, yeah, this is not going to be good for cryptocurrencies, and this is not going to be good for Bitcoin. Okay, guys, that's enough doom and gloom for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see some more videos, subscribe, and I would really appreciate a like. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.